to explore, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay. We'll take it slow.
Do you play 2K?
I do.
The 2K Sports Pregame Show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
I miss you too,
and I'm
Ernie.
really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Yeah, me too. Moments away, it'll be the Chicago Bulls going up against the Nets in Brooklyn. Looking at the Nets, they struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight. And fellas, a new season about to begin. Clean slate. Plenty of hopes and dreams out there. Kenny, how do you spot a new legitimate contender?
I usually look for the team with good balance, where one guy isn't doing everything. One guy can facilitate everything, but he can't do everything. So offense, defense, balance, and they gotta have a big shot maker.
You know, I look for unselfishness, guys playing with each other, mental toughness. No weak-minded team has ever won a championship, Ernie.
How about continuity, too? How about very little changeover from a team that was really good the previous year, may not have gone as far as they wanted, but returning the same bunch?
That helps.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well
Yeah.
said. No need to add anything to that.
Continuity. Yeah. Kevin Harlan knows all about that.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. And going against Chicago, their first game of the NBA's regular season. They were dominated last year, not a good matchup for them, going 1-3 in the season series.
Two conference rivals. I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
Well, yeah, expect this first game to be a filling out of sorts. Lots of in-game adjustments. I mean, it should be an interesting matchup as the year progresses.
And Chris, it must be fun for you watching two teams who look for a lot of their offense in the low block.
I mean, there's a real art to being on that low block. If you think about it, you can facilitate just like a point guard. All you have to do is just be dominant down there. When you do that, you'll cause a double team. Your height, your position, where you're on the floor, you can see over other players, and you can find that open man. It's like playing the point guard, just from a different position.
So it's physical, but there is a lot of nuance to it as well, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely physical, much more physical than being out top of that front of the key. But if you can handle it correctly, that means you have more space, you can be more efficient, use less dribbles, and also now with the way that players play and their skill set, they space the floor so much, so it's harder for a player to get to you and help. And if a player does commit to you with that help, that means you can find an open man and make the defense pay.
All right, let's set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. So for Chicago right now, Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. Mirotić at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. And it's Holiday in at the 3 slot. And now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with Coach Fred Hoiberg.
Well, Kevin, I talked to him about the shot blockers they face in this matchup.
He said if we can play a little more up-tempo and score before their bigs can recover and get set, that'll help. Also putting them on the move in half-court sets, whether ball screens or screen and roll, can help as well. We'll see if his team executes his game plan, Kevin.
David, thanks. Sounds like he's prepped his guys on how to handle this opposing defense.
And no surprise there, because they're facing a team that can win games with its defense. They are an aggressive bunch from the start.
Well, look, you can play with pace, you can play with speed, and still be patient. And that's what this team is going to have to do against this aggressive D. They can't force things. They've got to play smart and in control.
The Bulls have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. They double him with Russell, and Mirotic has it in the corner. Lopez a screen. Here's the teardrop. Mirotic's shot is off.
Not getting anything to fall here early. 4 straight misses to start the game.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Looking at the last game for the Brooklyn Nets, it was a loss to Philadelphia. Knocks it loose. And here we go. Here's Mozgov. They get it back. Here's Russell. Got a piece of it. Fast break. Here they come. The wide open look here for Holiday. And again, Chicago. No good. And here they come. Uses both hands to slam it down.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Yeah, particularly on offense, where they've been completely in sync. Terrific first quarter.
And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
And, of course, for the Nets, I mean, they won't control their own first-round pick until 2019. There's going to be some losing along the way with not much reward. Checking out some stats for Levine. Good season for him last year. He averaged about 19 points a game last year, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. And he continues to hone his game. I think the potential is there.
Oh, yeah, you can see the potential, but it's raw. He needs to keep refining that skill set.
Goes up, hammers it home to polish off the break.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Well, I love how they've done it. They've built this huge lead with points in the paint, dominating physically.
Now here is Holiday. In transition, here come the Nets for the finish. Oh!
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Oh, that's why you see them flexing a little bit. They're feeling good about how they've dominated.
And here are the Bulls now. After the basket by Brooklyn, Mirotic, that's good, and it's Levine with the assist.
Look at Mirotic's touch inside. Mirotic understands how to score deep in the paint.
Here's Russell. It's tipped.
He keeps battling, but so far this quarter, he hasn't been able to get it going.
High, arcing shot, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
And still, Chris, a lot of games left. Talk about the marathon of an 82-game season. Boy, it seems like a lot.
Man, you have to control your emotions. You have to control your energy. It is grueling. There's so many ups and downs in the seasons. There's so many momentum changes for you and for others that you have to keep a constant focus. And so 82 games, college, that's about 30 games. And so if you're a rookie, you're playing about 3 of those seasons. And even if you're a veteran, you're going to get tired right before All-Star break. So how do you manage your body? How do you recuperate? How do you keep focus on those tough, cold nights during the winter? That all takes part into becoming a great player.
Yeah, real balancing act for sure.
It is a balancing act. It's how do you figure out balancing your mind, balancing your focus, and then balancing your body, staying off your legs.
Now here is Holiday. 5 points in the game. Now the dish to Mirotic to the paint. Levine can't hit. Brooklyn leading by 11. The drive by Russell. Yep, that one goes in there.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And it's happening at both ends, trying to end this thing before it begins.
Fires the 3. That misses off the backboard.
That's a shot that will drive his teammates crazy. There's just no reason to take it. He should have kicked it back out and reset the offense.
And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Booker, he's checked in for Damari Carroll. And the Bulls making a change also. Portis is checked in. Dunn kicks to Levine. To the paint. Here's Holiday. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got his 3rd assist on the night. Hollis Jefferson. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And you love how Russell keeps his eyes up. Rarely misses a guy when he's free.
Bulls trail by 13. Dunn with it. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. To the inside. Mozgov with the steal. Crab, good.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Lopez outside, and out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Nets.
And the one shot they've stayed away from tonight has been that long 3. They've been a little more consistent with their shot selection, not launching as many deep threes.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Markkanen, he's checked in for Lopez. Paul Zipser comes in for Justin Holiday, and it's Jaren Grant in for Chris Dunn. Bulls trail by 17. Chicago calls timeout.
And going into last season, Jeremy Lin signed with the Nets for that 3-year deal and close to $36 million, and excited to make his return to really the birthplace of Linsanity. Unfortunately, the hamstring injuries cost him a huge chunk of that season.
And Greg, Jeremy Lin described last season as a year of my prime down the drain. I mean, it had to be demoralizing.
Yeah, especially after bouncing around for a few years. He thought he'd found a chance to start and a chance to lead, and instead he found himself in dress casual on the bench.
Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. Number 1, the Bulls.
Yeah, that was a huge factor for them a season ago. Their ability to attack the offensive glass and then convert those into second chance buckets. I mean, no one did it better.
And you look at the level of talent in the NBA now, some great players. But we've heard others say the league is watered down. How do you view that statement?
Well, I don't think you can compare eras. I think it's great to argue and have fun with them and debate them, but, very sincerely, unless someone can play against each other, it's just a wasted argument. There's different eras, there's different rules. Think about how many threes Larry Bird shot per game. 1.5, 2. What if he could let it fly 10 times a game? We'd be talking about a different player there. So I think times, eras, the physical play of the 80s, of the 90s, I just know that players will handle it differently. Hand checking, the way that we call flagrant 1 fouls. It's a different league, and so I just choose to celebrate the players that we have now. They're the evolution in my mind. They're kind of the culmination of all the players that have come before them, so I just enjoy the game the way it is now.
Markkanen in the corner. Puts up a three. A three-pointer is right on target.
And I tell you what, Markkanen has already mastered the art of the bank shot. Loves getting it up there and knocking that one down. You have got to be in his space if you want to disrupt his rhythm.
Grant the pass to Levine. He dishes it to Markkanen. Grant gets a wide-open look, and the Bulls another three.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
Rebound by the Bulls.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Pass to Markkanen. Levine wide open. Chicago working now with a new shot clock. Zipser kicks to Grant. To the inside. It's stolen. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
You know, it's going to be tough to win when you give the other team second and third opportunities to score the ball.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And just a shade over 70% from the line a season ago. That's an area I'm sure he wants to improve.
It's the Nets now. Zach LaVine unable to get his last shot to go. And last year, the Bulls, Greg, just didn't threaten anyone from outside.
And I think a big problem has just been personnel. You know, some of the guys they brought in as shooters just really haven't panned out, and that lack of shooting from deep is why this offense can grow stagnant at times.
Now, here's Grant. Pass to Zipser. Off target from three-point range. Nets leading by 19. A nice shot by Lynn. Lynn's got 6 points.
And Lynn is just fearless, always looking to get as close to the bucket as he can.
Dishes to Markkanen. And the Bulls with another miss.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
A nice shot by Booker.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, focus, focus, focus. Just make the simple play.
Now here's Levine to the paint. Shot to stop the run. Mozgov with the block.
And the size and length of Mozgov, a big factor. Hard to convert when he's there. And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And Chicago shooting only around 32% so far in this one. The offense looking a bit off kilter. Here's Zipser. No good on the triple. Here is Lynn. Here's Mozgov. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. 8 points for him.
And this one, a great way to score if your number isn't being called. Mozgov crashing the offensive glass.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets rolling along with a 27-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And, guys, the Nets enjoying a nice lead here.
I mean, a huge lead, and already after this first quarter, they're starting to make it look easy.
I love it. They have their track shoes on. Right off the tip, they were in full attack mode. This offense is really churning.
The Bulls shooting just 29% in this game. They are not a pretty sight out there offensively. Down low, it's Booker and Mozgov. Then it's Jeremy Lin. And it's LeVert in at the 3. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. And that one's good. Zipser.
Look, that's playing inside out, simply taking what the defense gives them.
Here's Mozgov. The shot will not fall. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. The putback, LeVert stayed with it, but they couldn't get it to fall. Outside, Levine. Tries a three, and the Bulls another three.
He just looks more engaged this second quarter. A far cry from his disappointing play in the first period.
And he makes that one. Booker's got 6.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Here's Lynn, and Grant sends it back. For 3, Levine. Booker pulls it in. Brooklyn leading by 23. And one of those lunch pail players. You love him, Greg. Trevor Booker out of Clemson.
Just hard-nosed, gets on the glass, and although only 6'8", he gets off his feet quickly. A terrific leaper and just one of those ultra-competitive guys.
And it's Grant in the corner. Here's Portis, banked in off the glass. Portis has got his first points of the night.
Look at this. I like this team basketball, keeping the ball moving until they find the right shot. Nice understanding of where to go with the pass there.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And over the course of the Nets franchise history, some interesting decisions. I mean, back in the 90s, they came very close to changing the team name to the Swamp Dragons. I think I'm just going to leave that one right there.
So, Greg, how close were the Nets to being the Swamp Dragons anyway?
Well, it needed a unanimous vote of all the teams to change it, but there was one vote against it. The Nets themselves voted against the change, and they had 7 owners who rotated voting duties, and the one on deck got cold feet.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Lopez, he's checked in for Portis. Mirotic comes in for Paul Zipser. Justin Holiday's checked in for Zach LaVine. And it's done in for Jaren Grant. They double him with Booker. Inside. Lopez, no luck.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead. And how about the unselfishness of Carroll? You know, he's not hunting shots, just making winning plays.
And Chris, you could always face up so well from the high post when you played. Which power forward do you think has the best face-up game out there right now?
Well, I think in order to have a really good face-up game, you have to have another threat, and that's to be able to drive and finish strong off of one leg. And you definitely look at a guy like Towns in Minnesota. He has that. He's so explosive. He can finish with either hand. I also think you have to look at Anthony Davis. This kid, he can stretch the floor, shoot out to the three, but also his first step is so quick. The same with Cousins. The fact that he's 7 foot can post you up, but his first step being quick off of a pump fake, he can do it as well. And don't forget about Blake Griffin. When he gets to that 15-foot spot, you really have to honor his jump shot. So those guys come to mind as far as big fellas that can face you up and knock it down.
I know you took great pride in your decision-making in terms of when to shoot and when to drive.
Yeah, I think your shot selection is your defense as well. You shoot a bad shot, a team like Golden State could have 6 points on 2 possessions off of 2 bad turnovers. And also I think it shows a commitment to your team from wanting to win. You know, just because you have the green light, why take that when a teammate might have a better shot that's open? So I think it takes a little bit of humility, but definitely a basketball IQ that says, wait, this is the smarter play right now. Can you think it on the live and while it's going on? So it's definitely important to be able to make those decisions.
It is, yeah, it is. Here's Lopez. That one dropped for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4.
But the arms of Lopez go on forever, which is why he's able to create for himself.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
And here is Dunn. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Mirotić's shot is off.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Holiday with it, now guarded by Booker. Outside Holiday, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession.
Now a moment to see the numbers for Dunn. Some last season stats for him. Averaged 3 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And clearly he's having a tough stretch here, but it's all about how you respond to the adversity. That'll be key.
Yeah, but we'll see if he has the mental toughness to turn it around. If not, they've got a few other guys ready to step up and start stealing some of those minutes.
Kept alive, Kilpatrick. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Holiday goes in. Here's Mirotić. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Mirotić has got 5.
Look at that fast release of Mirotić. Just remarkable as a big fella. As soon as the ball arrives, he's prepared to let it go. Terrific pass work. That shot's a lot easier after an assist like that.
Chicago has gotten half their shots from three-point range to go down in the second quarter. 3 of 6 from downtown. And Holiday kicks to Lopez. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Lopez has got 6 points in the quarter.
He's giving them a nice lift this quarter. The shots are falling.
And the dunk by Booker.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff. Now, here's Dunn. He's guarded closely to the middle. To the wing right side. And it's Lopez. That time on the assist by Markkanen. He's got 8.
It's his shooting that's kept them out of an even deeper hole here.
And the dunk by Booker.
And Kevin, lots of standing around and watching by the defense that time.
And he makes them pay, doesn't he, Greg? Huh? With that emphatic slam.
Hey, Kev, I love the play, but you know what? Anyone at this level can throw it down on you if you hand it to him on a silver platter.
To the middle. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
And don't forget about the good hand-eye coordination. I mean, he almost corralled it in for the steal.
Holiday dishes to Markkanen. No good from outside. And for the Nets, they're shooting extremely well. 62% on the night to this point.
Well, when the Bulls hired Fred Hoiberg, they wanted him to revamp the offense. Hasn't exactly gone to plan as the Bulls have struggled on the offense under Hoiberg. However, the team has stayed competitive.
And with Hoiberg, he came in wanting to play a more perimeter shooting and up-tempo type of basketball. But the personnel, Chris, just hasn't been a good match.
And part of it is the front office getting players who can't really hurt you from deep. But Hoiberg's responsibility is to make the most of the talent on the roster. It hasn't been an easy path for him with this team's talent.
2 shots. 2 shots.
The first one falls. And Chris, I know you've been executive producing and hosting various TV shows. You had a great NBA career, obviously, and it seems like you continue to find success. How's that been for you?
Well, I try to take the same lessons I learned in sports. You know, when I first got to Golden State, the first man I searched out was Chris Mullin and found out all of his habits and stole all of his knowledge, and I tried to take that and move forward. And I try to do the same in other areas. I try to work with the best. I try to learn, work hard, work my way up the rookie ladder and see what happens. And so I'll just align myself with some really great people, some wonderful thinkers and hard workers, and hopefully it'll continue to have fun like I am doing. So it's been a great ride.
You're always learning, right? You never stop learning.
Man, come on. It's not just about a school or a class or one mentor. It's about everyday learning so that you can kind of learn and put people's knowledge with your unique sense of self and make it work. Why not learn on someone else's dime? Why go through life making mistakes when other people can kind of let you know, wait, I did this, you want to think about that, and kind of just put your own playbook together.
Bobby Portis has checked in for the Bulls. And And the pass to Booker. Here's Whitehead. Good. And a nice assist from Booker.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You got to love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
Well, it's the shot selection. That's been a positive for them thus far and a negative for their opponent.
Lopez passes to Mirotic. Picked his pocket. Baseline jumper. The rebound by Holiday. The Bulls have gone 8 of 14 in the second quarter on field goal attempts. That one off the back iron and out.
Look, it hasn't happened yet, but he's got time to find his rhythm. And if he does, they can turn this.
Wow. And it's the Bulls with the ball. Next game for them, they'll take on the Raptors at Toronto. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Now, here's Dunn. He's guarded by Russell. Here's Lopez. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, and Robin Lopez, the big piece that came to the Bulls in the Derrick Rose trade. He's always been a solid center. Plays solid defense on the block and isn't lost when it's stretched out. He does a good job of protecting the rim as well.
The Bulls shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
And he makes the first. And with Robin Lopez, a very imposing player on the court, but he's also one of the more colorful characters, Chris, in the league. A very, very funny guy.
Well, I don't know what happened with him and mascots as a kid, but he's been taking his revenge out on them his whole career. He brings a great vibe to the locker room that helps with that team chemistry.
Mozgov, he's checked in for Booker. And both free throws good for Lopez.
Lopez. Now, this guy, he's a reliable role player, a stiff defender, and an intelligent shooter as well.
Here's Hollis Jefferson, true on the 14-footer. Hollis Jefferson's got 6 in the quarter. Well, Chicago's gone for the three-pointers 7 times here in the second and been successful 3 times. Portis kicks to Grant. Teardrop shot, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Chris, we all know you were a big Pistons fan growing up, and of course that means that you had plenty of chances to root against the Chicago Bulls. When you go back and you think about when you were young, was there one Bulls player that you loved to hate, so to speak?
You know, a little secret, I always cheered for Detroit, but I never hated the Bulls. Isaiah and Jordan were my favorite players. That's a little bit of a cop-out along with Magic, Bird, Dominique. But no. I really loved Artis Gilmore as well coming before. But no, I really can't say I had a player on the Bulls that I didn't really like.
And Grant drops them both.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got 3 assists in the game.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Grant with the ball. He's picked up by Russell. And the Bulls with another miss.
Wow, he's really been dragging them down tonight.
Hollis Jefferson takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
I like how Crabbe finishes these dunks. He doesn't try to make it complicated, ramming it home.
For Chicago, they've gone 8 of 16 from the field in the second quarter, a nice efficient 50%. Now Grant, 5 points in the game. Here's Whitehead. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
I mean, I don't know whether to say it's amazing or it's sad, but you're down double digits and you still allow an uncontested layup. Where is the pride? Where is your heart?
Whoa!
Good. Wow. Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Russell against Grant. Here's Portis. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a 3-point opportunity.
The Bulls shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
2 shots.
He misses the free throw. No luck that time either. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. Can't hit that one. Nice D from Levine. To halt the run, Zipser.
And that's solid D there. This is what Mozgov can give you, effort on that end.
And so it's Brooklyn, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. Right back after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. It's Brooklyn out in front at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what do you think?
Well, their field goal percentage is a number that jumps off the page. May I say it's Shaq-like?
That's a good one.
Seriously, they're incredibly efficient shooting the basketball, and I don't think they settle for any bad shots. And you're never going to go wrong with that strategy.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, they were playing like it was Christmas, Ernie, giving up a lot of turnovers. There's no excuses for the turnover numbers, sloppy ball handling. They look out of control, and the execution was all over the place.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Welcome back as we get a beautiful aerial view of the Williamsburg Bridge connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. And Chicago has possession. Tipping off the second half, here's Fred Hoiberg's 5. Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. Mirotić at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. And it's Holiday in at the small forward. Dunn dishes to Holiday. And the three ball is good. Holiday's got the first points of the second half here for the Bulls.
And the height Dunn possesses is what allows him to see the floor so well. So good at setting up his guys for quality shots.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
He feeds it to Mirotić. Jumps up, throws down the breakaway jam.
And the athleticism always been NBA caliber. Carroll showing it off there with the finish.
Dunn with it. He's picked up by Russell. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Chris, you've been broadcasting as an analyst for the better part of a decade now. Talk about your process when you personally prepare for a broadcast, prepare for a game.
Wow, that's crazy. It is almost the better part of a decade. It doesn't seem that long. I can't believe I've been retired that long, but
I know it.
Right? I can't. Wow, time flies,
I can't
man.
either.
What the? I have to thank so many of the guys that I've worked with that have taught me kind of how to do it. But my process is kind of like a basketball game or when I play. There's a scouting report. I look at the scouting report. I look at the stats for this season. I compare the two teams. I look at this, if I was playing for Team A, what would we have to do? What would my role be? And then I look at it for Team B. I love coaching and management and looking at all those things. And so it gives me a chance to play all those roles and then come up with the game plan. And then from there, I just try to make sure I kind of stick to the rules of commentating when we start the game and go from there. But my preparation is really to get deep into the numbers of each team, but then more importantly, how they've been playing, add that context of what I did as a player, and I know what the teams are going through along with all those analytics, and then kind of just let it fly, and hopefully the fans have fun watching it, but that's my process.
Three-pointer. Mirotich's shot is off.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Crabbe, good.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Right side, Levine. Lopez sets a screen for Levine. Here's Russell. Finished off the break. Russell's got his third bucket of the night.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Levine kicks to Dunn. Knocks it loose and stolen by Russell. Grab the pass to Carroll. And he jams it with authority.
And beginning to pull away. Really effective play calling halfway through this one.
Well, they figured out what's working, and that's what they're going to keep hammering on.
Down low, here's Lopez, and it's blocked. Here's Crabbe, and he banks in the layup. Crabbe's got 9.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Here's Mirotic to stop the run. Here's Lopez. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. 12 points for him.
Oh, well, Lopez is terrific on the offensive glass. I love seeing him use his long arms to haul in the boards.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
When you get tagged with your 4th foul, you have to be very careful the rest of the way.
Brooklyn making some changes. Levert's checked in for Hollis Jefferson, and it's Jeremy Lin in for Crabbe. And Chicago also making a switch. Markkanen's checked in. And Levine, here we go. Mirotic has a wide open look. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got 5 assists tonight. And one of the pieces of the Jimmy Butler trade this offseason, Zach LaVine finds himself as a prime building block for a rebuilding team. The Bulls see him as a star of the future.
And rightfully so, even given the fact that he's recovering from the ACL surgery. LaVine is young and can grow his game with the team. Hard to get fair value for a player of Butler's ability, but LaVine is a great place to start.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Russell. And we take a look here at the shot chart for the Bulls.
And guys, really the story for him has been his struggles from mid-range. I mean, some of them have been rushed. Others were just tightly contested. But he has to be a lot smarter on when to pull up or when to look for a teammate going forward in terms of winning this game.
The Bulls have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. LaVine dishes to Dunn. Inside, it's tipped. Mozgov with the steal. In transition, here come the Nets. They get it back, and the bank shot is good. Mozgov's got 14.
And the towering presence of Mozgov, most effective doing damage inside.
And Mozgov comes to help. Here's Mirotic, and finished off by Mirotic.
Ooh, nice assist out of the double team, staying cool under fire.
And Mirotic, a player who hasn't made quite the jump in development that Chris, I think, his team was hoping for.
Yeah, Mirotic fans might have their expectations dampened a bit, but he's still a good player. He has one of the best pump fakes in the game because his shot is so good, but no idea how defenders keep falling for his pump fake. I mean, he uses it all the time.
Booker, he's checked in for Brooklyn.
Mind the lanes.
Harris comes in for Russell.
One shot.
That one misses for Mirotic.
And when Mirotic first came over to the NBA, he made a big splash, showed that he can act as that stretch four and contribute. Unfortunately, he just hasn't evolved as a player since that rookie year.
Chicago's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Dunn kicks to Mirotic. They get it again. Portis, the pass to Holiday. Double team on Holiday. Feeds to Dunn. Mirotic against Harris. Back to Mirotic for the 3. The rebound by the Nets. And for Mirotic, a lot of his lack, Greg, of progression as a player has come from inconsistency.
And you can see it in his field goal percentage as well as when he plays. It needs to find more consistency in every facet of the game. But young enough, I think, to still make that happen.
Here's Portis. And he gets it to go. Portis has got his second bucket of the game to go.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the call. Chicago the foul.
And really, the first 3 or 4 seasons of his career, DeMarre Carroll was kind of a fringe rotation player. I think once his three-point shooting took form in Atlanta, that's when his value as a player skyrocketed.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And that one falls for Carroll. And for DeMarre Carroll, able to hit the 3, but it all starts for him, Greg, at the defensive end.
Yeah, he can be an intimidator on that side of the ball, and with his lockdown mentality defensively, he only needs to provide complementary scoring to be a key contributor.
Paul Zipser, he's checked in for the Bulls. Grant comes in for Dunn. Markkanen kicks to Grant. Bulls moving the ball around. And DeMarre Carroll is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
They set the pick. Here's Grant. Drains the three-pointer. Grant's got 8 points.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
Shoots over Markkanen. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. It's on Lauri Markkanen. The Nets have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
The first free throw is good.
Well, the big story from the Bulls last offseason was trading Jimmy Butler. It had to be. He had strife with the front office, problems with players. Both sides seemed to want to move on.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. Well, Chris, as you said, the strength of this Bulls team last season came from Wade and Butler. And speaking of Wade, what better a player to act as a mentor for this team than Dwayne Wade?
Well, it's hard to get fair value for a guy like Butler. It was clear that Chicago needed to mix things up. Now, Levine, I really like his game. He can really help this team. And they, Markkanen, that's decent.
This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing.
For Chicago, they've gotten half their shots to drop in the second half up to this point, going 7 of 14. And off target that time from Zipser. The net shooting 64%. Beautiful all-around play by this offense. A nice shot by Lynn.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Grant kicks to Zipser. Screen by Grant. The feed to Markkanen. The three. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Wing shot on the way. The second chance effort. That's tipped. Here's Zipser. Defended by Booker. Zipser kicks to Holiday. They set the pick. Lots of room. And that one is off. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. Here's Booker. Here's Harris. It's rebounded by Portis.
Some tough D in the paint, getting between him and the bucket and stopping the easy deuce.
Here's Zipser, and he uses the glass on the layup. Zipser's got 8 points.
And that's right where they wanted to go with the ball, in rhythm.
Here's Lynn. It's rebounded by Portis. Portis has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Fires for 3. Markkanen can't get it to go. They've shared the load offensively.
And guys, they've put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
Now, here's Grant. 8 points for him. Poked away. It's stolen by Carroll. Here's Lynn. Goes back up, and he lays it up and in. 10 points for him.
He does not play the score. I mean, he's going to continue to work his tail off on the glass and make plays just like that.
Keep it simple, know yourself, and that's how he gets his minutes. He doesn't stop battling for rebounds even when the score is lopsided. He knows his role.
Pass to Zipser. And Holiday kicks to Grant. 15 seconds left in the third quarter. These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Shooting for Chicago, Jared Brent. At the line for 2.
And he knocks down the first one. He's perfect from the line this time. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the third. Hollis Jefferson, and that one is hammered home.
Oh, the feed was perfect. The timing, the placement, everything was right on the money.
Outside, Levine. Another steal. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the Nets opening up a huge gap. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. The Nets shooting 61%, showing all the indications of an offense that is locked in. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Allen, and it's Dinwiddie in at the point guard position. So that's the Nets 5. Grant kicks to Lopez. Here's Felicio, and the layup is good.
No, you can't lay that pass in there any better.
Here's Dinwiddie. He's covered by Grant. Dinwiddie's shot is off. The Bulls shooting 41% for the game. Pondexter with it. It's stolen by Allen. Here's Kilpatrick. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
And we've seen a few players come into the NBA through different paths. They're playing overseas for a year or spending time in the D League, now known as the G League. Chris, Do you think that these alternative paths to the NBA will ever be as common as the standard collegiate path to the NBA?
Well, I think it can be, only because there's such an international presence in the game, and that now you're starting to find players all over. And the great thing about the NBA is it doesn't matter where you come from. It just matters what type of skill set that you have. So I can see it being other paths to the NBA, but the NCAA is always going to be one, in the fact that guys want to play for their state teams, and that's always going to be fun to watch. But thank God for basketball fans and athletes, there's a lot of paths to the NBA, which is the ultimate if you want to play basketball.
Absolutely. Whitehead passes to Dinwiddie, lays it up off the glass.
Look at this. I like this. Team basketball, keeping the ball moving until they find the right shot.
The Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Poked loose. In transition, here come the Nets. Here's Kilpatrick, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
And you can see now they're starting to push the tempo to good effect.
Pondexter from outside. Allen with the rebound. The Nets have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Wasted no time on that one. Kilpatrick's got 5 points now this quarter. Kilpatrick's gone 3 for 4 here from the field. Pondexter from outside. Rebound, Brooklyn.
Look, they cannot leave him open like that. The D got away with one there.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It goes on Jaren Grant. Chris, you look at the way the game is played now. We have seen some retired players say it is soft.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is soft when you look through their lens. That's true. But that's the way that the game is today. And so if you're a fan just coming to the game now, or, if this is the game you love, you accept it and you keep moving on. As long as the fans love it, as long as the players are having fun with it. But definitely, compared to the 80s, to the 90s, there's no doubt about it that the game is soft as far as physical play. But at the same time, look what it's produced. It has allowed players to show the beauty of an offensive jump shot, of an offensive move, and also made defenders get that much better because you have to move laterally and can't use your hands to guard.
Bulls making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. And here is Pondexter. Ball's knocked loose. Clock at 6. Will it go? No good that time. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. And it's blocked by Mirotic. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. The Nets have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Back to Allen, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
There's the double team with Allen. Here's Felicio. To the wing right side. Pondexter from outside. They grab their own miss. And finally, that one's good.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
I tell you what, it's like football, having a 3rd and 13 and them running up the gut. It just frustrates the defense. You have to hate giving up second chance points. It's demoralizing. After basically, you had to stop.
The Nets have gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Here's Allen. Again, Allen missing. Chicago's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Here's Mwaba, the second effort, and that's 2 points on the layup. Felicio's got 6 here in this quarter. The Nets shooting it well here in the fourth quarter at 50%. There's Hollis Jefferson, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Mirotic gets the bucket.
Oh, and that's his second three-pointer this half. He's really cooking now.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. Mirotic grabs the miss.
The defense is doing just enough to bother him on the jumper.
Here's Nwaba. Pulls up. That one bounces around and comes back out.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
I'd love to hear his explanation to Coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
Well, there have been some questions regarding the NBA's playoff format, Chris, if the division by conference is a good thing or if we should open it up to even more teams. Should we even have divisions? If you were going to change anything, what might you change in the playoff format in any way?
Well, I'll tell you this. I would not add more teams. Please. I mean, if you're going to add more teams to watch more bad teams, right. No. If you can't win almost 50% of your games, no way.
Agreed.
I did hear one thing that was kind of interesting is that what if you ranked the teams 1 through 16 in the playoffs so that, yes, I still believe in divisions.
Right.
Kev, because I want the season to matter. Divisions, championships, that matters for a fan base. Those type of things matter. So I want to keep those in there. But if you did 1 through 16 that way, so the last two teams didn't have to play the best competition until the end, I just think that might be interesting. You never know what type of matchups you may have. But I think we've been having some great basketball in the last 15 years. So I don't know if necessarily we really need to change anything about the playoffs.
Interesting observations.
Such incredible hops for a center. Look, it allows him to hold his own against any other 5 in the league.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Mozgov, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Harris comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And Chicago also making a switch. Denzel Valentine, he's checked in for David Nwaba. Last game for Chicago, it was a loss to the Raptors. Kicks it to Pondexter. There's the dish to Mirotic. Grant outside. Mirotic sets the screen for Grant. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
Oh, he took a terrific angle right there off the screen, something they work on every day in practice.
Harris kicks to Mozgov. Misses off the left iron. The Bulls shooting about 45% from the floor in the fourth. Pass to Mirotic. Mirotic, the screen. Pondexter with it, and Allen picks him up defensively. Count it.
Well, Mirotic does whatever he can and whatever it takes to win, including giving up his body and setting big-time screens.
And it's good, 2 points.
It's just been one of those nights for him. He got into the floor of the game and has not lost his touch.
Passes it to Valentine. Here's Felicio. No one near him. Brooklyn with the rebound. Harris has got 5 rebounds tonight. Mozgov's shot is off.
That type of defense doesn't always get it done, but it does the job that time.
Here's Felicio, drilled from 11 feet out. Felicio's got 14 points here in the second half.
Oh, he gets in a good position in the post, and the entry feed is there for him.
Allen's shot is off.
You can't be missing shots like that in the post. That'll get you a spot on the bench.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Nets.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
Grant kicks to Valentine. Takes a 3. No good from Grant.
Oh, it's a confidence shaker when you can't hit a wide open 3 like that.
The drive by Allen, and they cash in right away with the quick shot.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
Well, they've gotten serious, stringing together some game-winning buckets.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. Maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Tamari Carroll comes in for Allen, and Dinwiddie subbed in for Whitehead. Timeout called the Nets. They're up. 30 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Guys, your thoughts?
And you just have to avoid silly fouls here, guys. Defend with caution. Maybe get ready to make some free throws. If they can do that, they'll be looking really good here.
And with this game closing in on the final buzzer, let's take a look at our Jordan Player of the Game.
And guys, this really has been his night. He's done a lot of things well, but his scoring really put him over the top. You can see how determined he's been every time he's gotten his hands on the ball. Great drive and also great focus offensively.
Whitehead's checked in for Brooklyn. 30 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Valentine kicks to Felicio. Second chance shot. Out to the wing. They shoot again. Takes a big high bounce and goes in.
And that's what they have to do more of. They got a great look out of that possession.
Here's Mozgov. Again, the Nets for two.
I tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Well, a well-earned victory, feeding off the energy of this hometown crowd really all night.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Jeremy Lin. Impressive team win tonight. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a great effort, 1 through 15. Everybody just coming out with high energy and playing team basketball.
The ball got going and it led to a big win, Jeremy. Thank you. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.